here quickly. We're going to talk about the Browns and the Steelers now before we get too carried away. I'm going to go. I got some makeup to get done here, so I'm going to go first here before I pass it over to Jeff on this one. We're looking at the Browns. We're looking at the Steelers. We're looking at what, 5-0 versus 4-1? Is that what we're looking at here? We're looking at the AFC battle for first place. This is going to be a dogfight in that AFC North with the Ravens, the Browns, and the Steelers. I still don't think the Browns are for real. They've gone into a more of a run game under Stefanski there. The Steelers are not a team you're going to run on. They're a team that you can't really pass on either because they get pressure from the edge number one, TJ Watt. TJ Watt is putting up defensive player of the year type numbers right now. And what he can do can absolutely wreck a game, much like the Khalil Mack back when he was with Oakland. How Aaron Donald can absolutely wreck a game right now for the Rams. TJ Watt is in that same breath when you talk about defensive players. I cannot wait, but here's what I'm watching. I'm watching Myles Garrett versus the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. I don't care what Mike Tomlin says about they're not even thinking about that. You don't forget that shit, right? You don't forget that. I'm petty. I don't forget nothing. And these guys are professionals. And I guarantee you there's talk all week in practice about what happened last year. And I know this is a first-place matchup. You got two teams with one loss between them, and they're not going to do anything stupid to wreck that. But in the heat of the moment, I have a hard time believing that there's not going to be some sort of retribution going on. So that's what I want to watch. I want to watch a Steelers offensive line versus Myles Garrett. Jeff, hit us. Hey, bring that makeup here. Let's get going.
Yeah, biggest thing for Brown. So you made a comment that the Browns won't be able to run or will have a difficult time running. There's the duck face against the Steelers. They also lost Wyatt Teller, who's the highest graded guard. So that'll make it a little more difficult to run. I'm also looking to see how Baker Mayfield plays with the rib injury. Word is he's expected to play. He was limited in practice, but, I mean, he takes a shot from TJ Watt. He could end up leaving the game. So that's my biggest thing that I'm looking at. Also with Kareem Hunt, he's been able to finish the last two games. At the very end of last week, he started cramping. So that's just something to watch, especially in a game where they're definitely going to need him without Nick Chubb. On the Steelers side, Deontay Johnson, I don't know if he's going to play. He didn't practice. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses the game. He took a shot to the back during a punt return, and it was pretty bad. So I won't be surprised if he misses the game. People are still concerned about Juju. Like I said, he's going to be on the injury list, injury report, probably every Wednesday and Thursday for his knee. He's expected to play, no problem.
I think this is a game full of very interesting storylines. This is, that's very interesting there, Matt. You got plenty of material if you're going to do a how it started, how it's going meme. So kudos on that. Yes, obviously the Myles Garrett versus Pittsburgh, that's a huge story. How does that work out? I think, Jeff, you mentioned one of my things that I'm looking at here too, Baker Mayfield and how he looks after the rib injury. I wonder, does Case Keenum get some snaps here if he does struggle a little bit? And Case Keenum, he's got some history with Stefanski. He knows the offense. He learned it last year. Could he even come in and look like the better quarterback? I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibilities. And I think a lot of it is going to depend. We've got a little bit of an unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. To Pittsburgh, they have not allowed 100 yards on the ground at any point to any team this year. And then you got Cleveland, who wants to run the ball as much as anybody in the league. So what is going to give there? Kareem Hunt, for his part, looked like he was playing the Dalvin Cook role. I guess I'm not surprised to hear you say that he was cramping at the end because he had the most snap that he had of any game this season and took on we were wondering about Dearness Johnson. That was not he didn't take the Chubb role. Yeah, all that went out the window, and Stefanski went back to his playbook, I think, from Minneapolis, and Hunt played that role. So he was on the field a lot. I expect him to continue to be on the field. That is a tough matchup, but Miles Sanders showed that it is possible to still have a pretty good fantasy day. So I am expecting that. There's so many things about this matchup. So I'm talking a lot. Sorry, I'm going to turn it back over. But the wide receivers in Pittsburgh, how are the Browns going to adjust to that? If you've got Juju and you've got Deontay Johnson on the field and you've got Chase Claypool, like, where are they rolling coverage? I mean, ultimately it means good things for Ben Roethlisberger, right? Like, I expect it to be another really good Roethlisberger game. And as a Deontay Johnson guy, I have to admit the best ability is availability, and he, for the last couple of opportunities, has not been able to be on the field. You know, some of it's not his fault. I mean, obviously, you get a concussion, you get a concussion. There's nothing you can do. You get hit in the back, you get hit in the back. So we'll see how that plays out for him. I think he's a tough guy. I think he's going to want to continue to be out there on the field. But now that you've got Chase Claypool, it's hard to put that back in the box once they've seen that. So I think it definitely dampens my expectations for him going forward. So, Matt, are you waiting to reveal something to us here, or are you off camera now? I'm really – if there's a reveal, I'm going to be –
No,
that is.
What I'm trying to say is, in this matchup, I think you gotta be fluid here. You gotta expect the unexpected. And what I'm trying to tell you right now is, when you break down this film right now, you really have to think about it. So the DBs for the Browns are going to struggle mightily, whether Deontay Johnson's in this matchup or not. Can you guys try and be professional here? Like, seriously, like.
No, I cannot. I absolutely cannot.
So I don't know where my lighting all went, but now apparently, since I put my little got my hair done, it kind of went a little weird and fuzzy in here. So, yeah, I really got nothing else to add to this matchup. I'm looking for the revenge. I'm looking for that whole factor. I'm a petty individual. I want to see if the Steelers are as petty as I am.